You know, I've kind of recently hopped on the Jerry Fire quote-unquote hate train recently. Mostly in the context of the 2 Megapops challenge, where the goal is to get 2 million pops 1 tower in a whole game of chimps. Of which there are a total of about 2.04 million pops to go around. And we're gonna try something pretty crazy here. At least I haven't tried before, and that is with the bottom path glue gunner. A tower path that is not known to do any damage at all 0 damage, at least until we get the super glue, which finally does a little bit of damage. So you might be thinking, ISAB, how am I gonna get 2 million pops on this challenge on a glue gunner when the path doesn't even do damage until tier 5, and you can't even do a Jerry Fire to quote-unquote cheese it? Well, let me introduce you to an MF I call cross-pathing, cause we can just go for corrosive glue, and well, as you see, this upgrade pops 1 layer every few seconds. It ain't much, but genuinely, I believe just the corrosive glue upgrade can get us to super glue, but it's not gonna be an easy task. Yet, I don't even know if this is a possible challenge, because there is like an index that tracks the completions of towers and if they can get 2 megapops, but you know, ever since the release of Geraldo, I would wager that over half of the submissions were only possible because of Geraldo's Jerry Fire. Now, what's funny is that we're still going to use Geraldo for this challenge, because even without the Jerry Fire, he's still the most versatile, and that he has 15 other shop upgrades that can help, you know, get this tower to do that many pops. While not taking too much away itself, the early game is going to be hella rough though, I will say, because we have to work, because we're going for the bottom cross path, we only have a 1 pierce corrosive glue, so we gotta do our best, I guess, in the mid-game to give as many pierce buffs as possible so this can glue as many things as possible. We're probably gonna have to rely on our very trusty airburst darts to get us through the early game here, because we, like, in order to get a pierce upgrade, I think the cheapest thing is probably a 300 alt buff, but that's at least about $3,000. Attaboy. Now I believe our glue gunner can pierce 3 balloons at once, which is a huge upgrade. It's not full uptime though, although it's pretty close that I consider it good enough. Now I feel like with this pierce buff, it might be good enough to solo some rounds here. Like if we didn't have the airburst sub at all, then yeah, we could just let the corrosive glue take all the damage during the zeros, because it lasts long enough for that. Well, I gotta buy this upgrade first, now it lasts long enough. But with that being said, I probably should rush my D-camo sub ASAP as possible. Here we go. Great timing for that, TBH, honest. It leaked 1 white balloon I see, so I guess I have to unsubmerge for just a brief second, just to catch the stuff that I didn't glue, which there were about 4 balloons of that. For rounds as stupid as this, though, you would not think that round 34 of all rounds would be tough, but in the context of this challenge, it absolutely is a nightmare. We want strong rainbows, not a bunch of random yellows all over the place. Now, instead of going for a village, which I know would be a very, very big upgrade because we can upgrade to primary trading to give more buffs to the glue, I'm thinking, why don't we rush a 400 Steamy instead? This will give more attack speed, and also 1 extra bonus pierce, which would definitely help for rounds like these. Although, I feel like a bigger issue is the fact that... I apologize, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I figured I should get 202 glue before tier 4 alt buff, because slowing them down even more does help a little bit. And come on, there's stronger Stimmy. Get it ASAP. And now we should be able to beat round 37 here. What I might have been saying is that it's the width of the projectile that has an issue. Even though it has a lot of pierce, it's such a thin projectile that it's still whiffing occasional things. We'll see if I put it on last here. Okay. Last seems to get better angles, so we'll keep it there. And now that we finally got the setup working, I'm loving it. This kind of brings me back to the good old BTD5 days. I remember back in those days, it was kind of meta to go for corrosive glue at the front to like one-shot blacks and whites. But now there's so many towers that I guess, well, it's changed. You've changed, Bloons. You've changed. Let's see how much oh god. The glue can only get the ceramics down to blue balloons, which is kind of an issue, because there's a lot of ceramics in the later game. And then each ceramic spawns like 16 blues, something like that. And I know for a fact this thing will take forever to get through 16 pierce balloons. Also, Riga rainbows, let's see. Oh, no. turns it all into a regrow pink. So what I gotta do, probably I gotta unsubmerge stuff for the ending of this round. Okay, so what I gotta do here is the moment that the glue glues to rainbows, I gotta set this gun strong to pop the regrows. Although that's kind of annoying because the other balloon's in the way. Come on. Did we get all of them? Nope, we left it at a bunch of pink balloons, so that's probably gonna be enough to overwhelm us, eh? Or not. It worked out. We are 100% going to need to do 200 damage to all of these cerams here, or the mob here. And let's have, because I know that the sub turns the, or the glue turns the cerams into blue balloons, then if we just have the sub hit a little bit, or I guess the alchemist too, we know this will get all the damage through. It's now just a matter of if the glue's strong enough. And it is, very cool. Anyways, it's discounting time. But more importantly, it's primary training time. So now we have a permanent plus 1 pierce. So if you currently don't have out buff on the glue, then it's got 2 pierce. Otherwise, it's got 5. So pretty good. I'm not sure if we should buy primary mentoring too, because it's not really... We already bought the tier 1 upgrade, so we're not going to save anything. Oh, more regos this round. God, that's annoying. Okay, this is going to be harder than 39, because there's a lot of them. What do? What do? I guess we just gotta submerge it immediately, or unsubmerge it immediately. Strong now. Oh, but then there's camos that are annoying. Okay, how about a temp camo pot there? Ooh, that was a clutch snipe there. Clutch snipe didn't matter. I gotta de-camo or de-rego these somehow. Alternatively, I could buy a Grow Blocker Village, but the thing is, I don't plan to get a MIB, because that's not gonna help the glue gunner at all, or even a Call to Arms really, but I guess this might be the cheapest thing to get us through the round. Just simply don't regrow in this radius here. If that solves our regrow problems, then I'll take it. Just need a couple shots, and probably that's enough. And verdict, yep, it popped all the regrows. Grow Blocker OP. Okay, I still have not figured out what to do for all these blue balloons here. This round, I just didn't let the sub hit them at all. But in doing so, I guess we have to rely on Gibraltar to clutch them up, as annoying as that is. I wonder how we do against fortified cerams too. I'll probably let the sub hit them for a little bit, although I don't know for how long. How long? At least until they pop into other balloons and then submerge them. That should be good, right? Nice. Okay. So this round, I know I have to do at least 2 damage to every ceramic, so that doesn't turn to blue balloon. So how about 10 seconds? Then we're good. Back on submerge. I also give a count pot just so, because this would be unsubmerged for a good amount of time, and it seems like that works. Good. Probably not news, but I found it more consistent for the rounds with a lot of random balloons to have this guy on last. And for the most part, it'll catch everything, even if it takes it to the second last bend. With this much money, we should probably upgrade now. I want to show you how crazy Relentless Glue gets. Also, is it just me, or does... It might just be visual, but does the projectile get a little bit thicker? Because I swear it does. But check this out. What Relentless does is it stuns balloons that get popped when they have Relentless Glue on them. So it's actually an insane upgrade now that I think about it for the early to mid game. Look at those infinite stun ceramics. Well, one of them got through, but we can probably get on the way around, right? And is that just not the most satisfying thing you've ever seen, folks? Absolutely marvelous right there. It doesn't solve our regrow rainbow problem somehow, but I'll probably have to unsubmerge a sub midway through that again. Okay, big issue. I think there's just way too many balloons to deal with this round. With all the greens coming, as well as, you know, rainbows and all that, we need to get more than this. What Glue Strike can do is, I think it can synergize really well with Corrosive Glue. This should now make it so that whenever Corrosive Glue takes for 1 damage on a balloon, it'll do 3, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. What I'll do then is I will wait for this guy to glue everything, I suppose, including the rainbows, and then we blast off with the glue. With that, we kind of have to guesstimate when we glue everything. Wait for it. Let's say now. And let's see how much of the wave thins out because of Relentless, or rather Glue Strike. There's some zebras that I know didn't get glued, so I guess I'll do a little bit of strong targeting. And now I think, now that we got a decent setup, except for mob damage, which we have to keep unsubmerged stuff for, we can try to go for the super glue, gun for the super glue now. It's really clutch too, because while the balloons are still coming in, we can give a lot of stuns to the mob, so we can wait plenty of time. Blue Strike now, set it strong to pop this earlier. Make sure to damage the cerams twice as they go around for 2 damage. And rinse and repeat for the time being. Total pops taken away so far is about 2.5k, 7.4k, so about 10,000. Which is a lot for this early on in the game, but I feel like once you get super glue, things should stop getting a lot of pops away. But I don't know about you, but I think a good amount of you would agree with the fact that, yes, the addition of Jerry Fire and 2 Mega Pops challenges really, I guess, removed a lot of the interesting possibilities we could do. Like, with Jerry Fire, I guess, all of these challenges end up being the same. As in, we go for the same support towers because, well, all of those weak towers are all going for the same upgrade, aka the Jerry Fire. So you just get stuff that does well buffing Jerry Fire until you get, or all the way until the end of the game or something like that. But yes, now that I played these runs out sans Jerry Fire, it does feel like a whole new experience. So I hope you guys don't find these stale, because I've gotten a couple comments, not recently, but on some of the 2 Mega Pops that I've done in the past that, you know, it starts getting a little bit repetitive. Even though this is a series that I probably only do once every, like, 3 weeks or less than that. 2 Mega Pops challenges are genuinely a small part of the total amount of challenges that I do, contrary to maybe some biases. So same formula for how to beat the next several rounds afterwards. Use Glue Strike, unsubmerge a sub, and the round rinse and repeat all the way up until round 62, where we finally meet our end. Tough round because we've got a bunch of mobs and then a couple F-mobs at the end, while a bunch of purples and regrow rainbows are coming in. That's a lot to handle. We're now up to 13,000 pops taken away, which is kind of scary. This is about half the allotted amount, but we're so close to super glue. We just have to beat, I would say, 2-3 more rounds. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to unsubmerge this up a lot earlier, as much as that sucks ass, just to be able to get her in. And also, wait for all the Regal Rainbows to come in first before using Glue Strike, so that we make sure we pop them fully. Unfortunately, these F-mobs are wrecking me. They're going way too fast for my liking. Pop them before it leaves Relentless range. Okay, we got all of it, but this is going to take a lot away, I would think. Oh great, also a Chemo Rainbow got through. I guess I have to give a count on Gibraltar as much as that, as weird as that is. We'll be fine, trust me. Anyway, up to 16,000 and 4,000 now. Ay, ay, ay. 63, thankfully, is easy. World's most satisfying round in existence. And now another round where we gotta get probably 2,000 pops on the sub here. So close. One more HP. Relentless Sun coming in clutch. Let me unsubmerge to see if I can get away with it, because these guys are already glued here, so they'll pop eventually, and I think we did it. Another Glue Strike. One more unsubmerge in case. Alright, and I think the money's there, folks. There's a lot of money worth of in these ceramics here, and they are super glue. The tough part has been done. Now we don't have to unsubmerge this guy anymore for mold damage. Awesome. And what they did with super glue not long ago, or I don't know how long ago, but they made it so that the damage over time for corrosive glue is a lot higher, and that's why you see the corrosive glue one-shots the ceramics. I don't know what's more satisfying, seeing just those fortified cerams pop in one go, or the mad relentless suns that we saw in the mid-game. I think both were equally awesome. And from this point on, I'm not sure what else to buy. I guess other than bad damage, because it only does 30 damage per glue attack. That being said, probably just the usual stuff to increase the damage on the tower even more, like Overclock, hell, maybe even a Chinook to move the super glue around places. But for the time being, don't have to worry about that for another several dozen rounds, so you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the insane popping clinic that this super glue is putting on right now. Alright, now we'll pick off the live commentary back at around 85 here, because I'm curious to see if we're able to one-shot like super ceramics this late in the game. From what I'm seeing, I think it takes about 3 ticks or so, but either way, it's definitely enough. Right, if we just do some quick math here, then I know that the bottom path glue makes the glue on balloons last for 24 seconds, and I think according to the wiki, every 2 seconds it does 20 damage to a balloon, so quick maths, that's 240. Yeah, 240 damage over time, which is definitely enough to damage even fortified super ceramics. They have about 120 HP if I recall correctly. Also, I'm just making sure, seeing if the alchemist placement's good. Because if it hits any of the ZMGs up here, that's not a good sign. Luckily, we're not hitting them. We are getting Pierce Cap, though, even with Overclock, so that is a slight concern. In that case, I guess never mind. I probably should invest in a Call to Arms, yeah. I mean, if we do need more single target damage, then this is it. Hell, at this rate, our Homeland defense isn't even out of the equation, given how good the Super Glue is at soloing this late game here. And I know I do this comparison for a lot of towers, but I feel like it's necessary to show you just how insanely dumb, like, the difference BTD6 is between version 1 and this version. And that is, the Super Glue does 30 damage on hit to mobs now, but in the past, before version 8.0, it did 0. It only added the 50 extra damage, you know, partway into the game's history. It was just one of several dozen, or probably half of the tier 5s in the game that were completely worthless. Like, legitimately, there were probably a dozen viable tier 5s, and the rest were just hot garbage until HQE came around to patching them. Sorry, just had to sneak in a little back in my day talk over there, because it's true. Back in my day, BTD6 was much harder, but nowadays, people can do challenges like 2TC, ABR, 140, LCC, LTC, you name it. I'm not gonna explain what those acronyms mean, but if you know, you know. And it looks like we're well on our way to getting that Homeland defense, because nothing has been a problem so far. I repeat, nothing. We'll use our Call to Arms now. It's pretty worthless to use Glue Strike, but I'll do anyways. It'll give us a whopping 5% extra damage on our Super Glue DOT. Yeah, biggest problem is when everything pops mobs, we lack the Pierce without using Call to Arms, so we gotta save it for the ending here. Oh crap, it might be too many balloons for the ending. Timed out. And there's still a lot of balloons left over here, but we got OC back, so that's good. Nice. We can fort Homeland in the middle of this round or the start of next round. This round shouldn't be too shabby, right? I'll do last turreting, just like last time, or earlier, because it gets good straightaways. Alchemist hitting on DDTs here, which is weird, because it didn't hit on BFBs. I think some hitbox shenanigans are a little bit funky looking. Oh, so Call to Arms ran out, but there's still several DTs alive. This could be an issue. Uh-oh. Yeah, one leaked, okay. I think I could probably spare, I would say 2 of these guys. These totems can help stun mobs and knock back a bunch of ceramic, so maybe we need that. Maybe. We'll also hold our Call to Arms till a more important part. Maybe when more balloons on screen so it can utilize its Pierce better. Like that. Look at all those DTs clumped. I think those are almost 30 of them on one spot. And we'll do the Blue Strike now to combo. And look at that. It works. We got all the DDTs. And, oh, it's almost getting through. Crap. Prepare to get another totem if something does get through. Oh my god, are you kidding me? One ceramic really is gonna kill us this round. That's so sad. Okay, no biggie. Just redo the round, but this time get that third totem much earlier, and it keeps everything at bay. And just like that, we got Homeland defense. Easy. So now you want to see round 98 disappear? Well, let go. Use the flashbang. Use the overclock. Okay, and the round didn't quite disappear, but we got a lot through, alright? A lot. Anyway, time for a very fun round. Let's Homeland immediately so we get up for the tough part of this round, but we're gonna be clubbing a lot of stuff together. I don't like how much damage that's about to do for the Alchemist. Probably up to 10,000 this round. Okay, let's use a Rejuve here too, because I think we need it. Good god, good god. Why are the F-mobs not doing any damage at all? This round's harder than I thought. Yeah, we don't even beat it, which is crazy. Forget about, like, not taking Pop's way. 98's dense. Alright, forget everything and just put your full focus, full cussy on beating this round. Be ready to use... Yeah, we'll use a Rejuve now. We gotta chain them. Chain Homeland back-to-back in order to have enough Pierce to beat F-mobs here. But even then, wow. Still not enough. How much money am I off of level 20? Okay. I could spend 2k to refresh Geraldo's shop. But this is as much money as a Rejuve potion. So I don't know. What this can allow me to do, though, is get multiple of these creepy idols. This won't be here for round 100, sadly, but if I do save 5 of them this round, that's a crazy amount. Maybe that's enough utility to beat this round. Now, my only issue with doing this is that now I don't get the Geraldo refresh, so I'd only have, if I use a rejuve now, I don't have a next round. But I have no choice if I want to survive. The annoying part is that the ZMGs are right on top of the mobs that I'm trying to catch leaking. So this is hard. Probably going to need a glue back here. Hopefully not too many spikes, or else it's GG. Well, I'm prepared to drop every spike I have here. Wish I had a hotkey for this, NGL. Well, holy crap, we did it. We beat the Moabs, which is the hard part. Now, can we contain the BFBs underneath all that? Oh god, this is so close. Come on, Homeland in 1 second. Got it, got it. Clutch up for me. First, last starting. Good. Holy heck, we did it. And we needed all 6 of these creep battles to come in clutch for us, because my god. If not for that, I don't know what we would do. At this point, even if we don't make it to 2 million pops, I won't be too mad, because, yeah, 98 was a damn nightmare. I now have under 10k pops to spare, I think, between all other towers. So here goes nothing. Let's see how much damage this super glue can do DPS-wise, and oh my god. Okay, I made a grave calculation, guys. I thought every time I hit, it would do 30 damage, but as you see, that's not the case. Super glue is an absolutely large pile of crap, and that it I don't know, it does the 30 damage per tick. And this here is Exhibit A, why people use Jerry Fire, folks, because if you don't use Jerry Fire, you start to want to bash your head against the wall when you do challenges like this. It turns out no matter, I don't think how cleanly I beat the other rounds, I just wouldn't have the spare pops to be able to beat this bad here. Given that the super glue, I think, did 4,000 bad damage there, 6,000. Yeah, that's not even close. Just so I could say I beat all 100 rounds, though, I'm going back to 98, adding a Spike Storm and adding a Jerry Fire just to show you how much easier that would be. We're able to get through 98 using very minimal road spikes and glue. And now we combo the Spike Storm Homeland Rejuve combo to do absolutely absurd amounts of damage to the BD, and so that's how we're going to beat Chimps mode, but unfortunately we're not going to get 2 megapops, we're going to be very far off in fact. If I sweated a little bit harder, maybe I could do 1.98 million, 1.97, but either way, both numbers are below, you know, the 2 million pops mark. I'm satisfied with 1.95 though, and a victory. And if I allowed myself to use Jerry Fires at the very beginning, then you bet your ass I would have got 2 million easily, let me just tell ya. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that unique 2 megapops run. If there are other towers that you think would have a very unique strategy interesting to showcase, then let me know in the same challenge.